can no one be well? And I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. When the world is sick, can no one be well? And I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? And I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. Ana elna rifanala. Hello, everyone. Shabbat Shalom and good Yantif to you all on the second night of Shavuot. We're thinking especially of Felix Nelson tonight, whose bar mitzvah would have been tomorrow afternoon. And Felix, we know that we'll be celebrating with you when the time is right. And this has been yet another impossible week that somehow we make possible because there is no other choice. Over 100,000 people dead from the virus here in our country. George Floyd dead on the ground in Minneapolis in front of our eyes. Mean politics, a quarantine that is striking with an especially devastating effect on African American communities, Native American communities, and immigrants of color. All of this alongside a stunningly beautiful spring that is now making its slow pivot into a summer that is hard to envision. The gifts and the potential for transformation stand side by side with the grief, the rage, and the horror. 50 days ago, we left slavery together and gathered for our first ever virtual Passover Seder. Now the unfolding of time brings us up to the mountain, where legend teaches we all stood together, receiving the revelation of Torah and covenant, each spoken to in words our souls would understand. The loyalty and kindness found in the story of Ruth and Naomi also guide us on this holiday. And so here we are at the mountain, free, though still in the wilderness, with the power to use our freedom to take actions that will heal both inside and outside of ourselves. We do this work together as a Kehillah Kedosha, a holy community, for no one is meant to do this work alone, especially when the way forward is so unclear. Rabbi Carey wrote this week of a midrash she learned from Rabbi Rachel Beit Halachmi. The midrash teaches that the first time the Israelites gathered at Mount Sinai, the people experienced and heard revelation in many different ways. But despite all of their differences, they were like a single person with one mind and one heart. Belev echad. Perhaps this is what enabled them to move forward. And so we too move forward with our collective strength and beauty and bring our full selves to this Shabbat in this holy time of Shavuot, readying ourselves to lean in, to listen and learn, to hear what is waiting to be revealed in our own lives. May we each experience a revelation this holiday, moving us to live with clear intention, purpose, and meaning, with joy and with light. I invite you now to light with us your Shabbat and Yom Tov candles, if you have them. And then following candle lighting, we'll sing Shehecheyanu, grateful for having reached this season with all of you, with all of us together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlek ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman
A retelling of the Revelation story by Rabbi Jill Hammer from Sisters at Sinai, New Tales of Biblical Women. Exodus tells us in chapter 19, 17 through 20, Moses led the people of the camp toward God, and they took their places at the foot of the mountain. The Eternal came down upon Sinai on top of the mountain and called Moses to the top of the mountain. Rabbi Hammer continues, and Miriam the prophetess, Moses' sister, remained at the foot of the mountain. As Miriam looked at the mountain, she saw in the mountain a wrinkled brown stone, like an eyelid. Miriam looked around her and saw that everything in the camp had become still. No one saw the door in the mountain but Miriam. Inside the round tunnel, there was darkness and silence. She thought that this must be what the world was like when creation began, smooth and dark and narrow and round. She walked, and then ahead of her there was a light like the Sabbath, a golden light. Miriam turned and saw an old woman watching her. "What is this place?" Miriam asked. "You are in the hollow of the mountain," the old woman said. "Inside the words, the stone tablets that your brother will receive. If he broke them open, this is what he would find. The Torah is the shadow and shell of this place." Miriam trembled. How am I worthy to have come here? She asked. You who tend to Israel are worthy to tend to the womb of the word of Torah, said the old woman. I give you the gift of the empty spaces in the Torah, said the old woman. Every place there is no ink, every place there is no word, I give you as my gift. That is no great gift, said Miriam. When the word was created, when the world was created, the old woman told Miriam, it began with a space. On this Shabbat, the Shabbat when we celebrate Shavuot, the giving of the gift of Torah to the Jewish people, let us dwell in the space afforded to us by Shabbat, especially deeply, especially now when we need it so badly.
Amen. Mah Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Mah Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Mah Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Mah Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. In Maimonides' Guide for the Perplexed, written at the end of the 12th century, he writes that in order to raise the importance of this day of Shavuot, we count the days that pass since the preceding festival. He compares the counting to the way one counts the days until our most intimate friend arrives for a visit, so excited they're about to come. We sometimes count the hours and even minutes until they walk through the door. A group of fellow Shir Tikvah members met weekly in these weeks since Passover to count together. And tonight's Shir sharers will be from this Counting the Omer group. By sharing, we hope to bring to you a sense of the spiritual intimacy that developed, which makes arriving at Shavuot a heightened experience, a long anticipated arrival. Our first Shir sharer is Karen Ginsburg. She writes, during these 49 days of Counting the Omer, we've read a lot about the mystery. Come toward the mystery. My soul yearns for the mystery. I am a sojourner here with the mystery. But until I was writing to a friend recently about my experience during this time, I'm not sure I understood what was meant by the mystery. While counting the Omer, the word I've thought most about is unfolding. Unfolding is a term I understood. Life just keeps unfolding in unexpected ways. What this shutdown has allowed me to do, forced me to do to some degree, is to watch life unfold from a distance that I don't often have because I'm usually so busy trying to impact and influence life's direction, particularly for people I love whose happiness I care so deeply about. During this time when my opportunities for action are so much more limited than they usually feel, I've had the distance to observe the unfolding and to understand that that's exactly what is always happening. It sounds so obvious, but I don't think I've consciously experienced the truth of it before. It's allowed me to understand what it means to step into the mystery. It's like if you're so involved in a story that you over-identify with the characters or get so involved making predictions and hoping for a certain outcome that you kind of believe you're the writer. Then you don't have the distance to recognize the story is full of suspense and mystery. If you can step back and try to hold it all and notice the pages are turning and the story is unfolding, you can recognize that what you're actually holding is a comedy and a tragedy and a romance and a mystery all in one. It's been awe-inspiring. Let us take all of this into our Shabbat, into this special Shabbat of Shavuot, welcoming the suspense, the comedy, the tragedy, the romance, and the mystery unfolding, as Karen wrote so beautifully about, as we turn to Lecha Dodi. Come, friends, let us welcome the presence of Shabbat together. If you are following along in the prayer book, it is on page 11, and the words are also on the screen. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, yalla la, yalla la, yalla, hine Shabbat, nekavela, yalla. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, yalla la, yalla la, yalla, hine Shabbat, nekavela. Roy Shamo v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad v'shemo letiferet v'litilah Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, yalla la, yalla la, yalla, hine Shabbat, nekavela, yalla la. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, yalla la, yalla la, yalla, hine Shabbat, nekavela. Oh, lekrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha. Ki bekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla Hine Shabbat nekavela Yalla Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla hine Shabbat nekavela Oh, hitoreri Wake up, wake up Kiva oreku ori Uri, uri Shir daveri Kevod Adonai Alai nigla Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla hine Shabbat nekavela Yalla Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla hine Shabbat nekavela Oh, Ozi V'shalom Ateret Balam Gam V'simcha U'V'tzala Tov Emunei Am Segula Boi Kala Boi Kala Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla hine Shabbat nekavela Yalla Lecha Dodi lekrat kala Yalla la, yalla la, yalla hine Shabbat nekavela As we prepare to enter into our Ma'ariv service, our next shir sharing is by Kat Amsterdam. It's entitled Touchstone, and it's about the Omer group itself. A physical, emotional, spiritual, inspirational touchstone. Enter into felt pain, fear, sorrow, despair, doubt, longing, anger, frustration, compassion, love, and joy. A community of wise, awakened souls grounded together for graced hours of bearing witness. A telescopic playbook of humanity, facing momentary brave and courageous truths with hope for evolution and change. A marvelous, wondrous touchstone. We turn to page 15 for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, veimeru, amen. Yehesh meraba mevarach, la'alam ulam me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpa'ar, ve'yitromam, ve'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yit'halal, shemeda kudesha Barechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma, ve'imeru, amen. May the light of our souls bring us home, feeling the ground steady beneath our feet, surrounded with love. Barechu, dear one. Barechu, dear one. Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come. Barechu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come. Barechu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. And with gratitude for the changing seasons, the stars in the night sky, the rolling of night into day and back again. Ma'ariv Arabim. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hooray, on Balayla, Golem, or Mipnei Choshen, Golem, or Mipnei Choshen, V'Choshen Mipnei Or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hooray, on the night, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day and day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
As we prepare for the Shema, a shir sharing by Caroline Lieber. All there is now. I walk in the mornings, green trees against blue sky. All there is now. The puppy strains against the leash, pulling to meet a neighbor, a bird, a blowing leaf. All there is now. I attempt a minute plank, a minute wall sit, body shaking. All there is now. Each beautiful smiling face on my phone, ready for a lesson, even as they turn their face into a poop emoji. All there is now. Gently waking up my own children for yet another day in front of screens. All there is now. My mother went for a pedicure with a friend without a mask. All there is now. New communities I didn't know were possible. Fellow parents, Omer, meditation, Qigong. All there is now. Shabbat and Havdalah every week. New glimpses of Jewish time. All there is now. Dear friends losing loved ones, becoming ill, mourning and healing while in isolation. All there is now. Breathing through the fear, the unknown. All there is now. Finding gratitude for so many people, for the unfolding that finds me still safe and okay. All there is now. The mystery of the unfolding universe is eternal in all directions, and still, all there is now.
Amen, amen. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Our Ve'ahavta setting for tonight is a poem by Marge Piercy. This is her Torah, her teaching.
So you shall love what is holy with all your courage, with all your passion, with all your strength. Let the words that have come down shine in our words and our actions. We must teach our children to know and understand them. We must speak about what is good and holy in our own homes, when we are working, when we are at play, when we lie down, and when we get up. Let the work of our hands speak of goodness. Let it run in our blood and glow from our doors and windows.
We should love ourselves, for we are of God. We should love our neighbors as ourselves. We should love the stranger, for we were once strangers in the land of Egypt and have been strangers in all the lands of the world since. Let love fill our hearts with its clear, precious water. Heaven and earth observe how we cherish or spoil our world. Heaven and earth watch whether we choose life or choose death. We must choose life so our children's children may live. Be quiet and listen to the still small voice within that speaks in love. Open to that voice. Hear it, heed it, and work for life. Let us remember and strive to be good. Let us remember to find what is holy within and without. Leman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Our next shir sharing is by Marina Shalman. The days of our confinement. We live for now in a cocoon, enclosed in silk and silence. We keep away from one another in our own quiet balance. But we whisper to each other, and we sing, and we dance, and we all share the same simple waltz. We all little cocoons. We all hear the same tune. The tune of our confinement, the tune of our fears, the tune of our hopes, the tune of the spheres.
Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot O Sefele, Norah Tehilot O Sefele, Yalai, Yalalai, Yalai, 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 May there come a time when we are safe in our homes, in our neighborhoods, in our towns, in our cities, in our country. May there come a time when all who live in this world go to bed in safety and rise in peace the next morning. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amidah Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amidah Malkeinu lechaim. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose. We all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the waters stay raging. And in this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you. No way, no way. 'Cause sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day all this will change. Treat people the same. Stop with the violence. Down with the hate. Someday we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Amidah Malkeinu lechaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Amidah Malkeinu Lecha
A Sheer Sharing by Audrey Roth. In the more than 25 years since I discovered my Judaism, I have never celebrated Shavuot. I've often wanted to stay up through the night studying with a group of like-minded people, but it hasn't happened yet. It's very high up on my bucket list, I assure you. In 2009, my adult B'nai Mitzvah class was introduced to the counting of the Omer by Beth. I have often engaged in this ritual since then, sometimes alone, sometimes with Deb. This year's counting was wholly different. In this time of pandemic, of too much illness, and unfathomable death. For the past 7 weeks, a group of us, shepherded by Beth and Caroline Lieber, counted, some daily, some intermittently, sharing our thoughts and opening up to each other in what, to me, was holy. My counting became accounting, an accounting of the soul. In the midst of incredibly enfolding support, I felt free to ponder out loud that which I have kept to myself, my beliefs about God, about myself, my struggles, and shockingly, my positive attributes. I accounted for the parts of me that make up my soul, the entirety of me. Shavuot, I have learned, celebrates revelation. Religiously, it is about the revelation of the Torah being given to our ancestors at Sinai. As unlikely as it seemed in this plague-filled time of isolation and separation, I have been given the gift of revelation, the revealing of my soul. I have revealed to myself how grateful I am to God, to this community, and to the group of counters and accounters who have helped me to think more deeply and sometimes to help me stop thinking so much and just be.
Amen, amen. We turn to the Amidah, chanting the first 3 blessings aloud together on page 25, and then in quiet prayer. You'll see on the screen during this time a word cloud created by Judy Lebo, reflecting the words of Rabbi Yael Levi, whose wisdom guided many of us during these 49 days, and also the Psalms that Rabbi Levi chose that accompanied our daily counting. A member of our group commented to Judy, "I think you've managed to capture an entire universal soul." We hope you enjoy it, with many thanks to Judy for her artistry. Ananana swatai tiftam. Ananana ufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imahot U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim. Umatir asurim umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umidom melach melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua ve'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Ozi V'zim'rat Yah Vayehili Lishua Ozi V'zim'rat Yah Vayehili Lishua Ozi V'zim'rat Yah Vayehili Lishua V'zim'rat Yah, Mah Yafeh Ozi V'zim'rat Yah, Mah Yafeh Ozi V'zim'rat Yah, Mah 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 Ozi V'zim'rat Yah, Mah
One by one, a prayer as the COVID death toll mounts, by Alden Salavi. God of consolation, surely you count in heaven, just as we count here on earth, in shock and in sorrow. The souls sent back to you, one by one, the dead from the COVID pandemic. As the ones become tens, the tens become hundreds, the hundreds become thousands, the thousands become 10,000s, and then 100,000s. Each soul a heartbreak, each soul a life denied. God of wisdom, surely in the halls of divine justice you are assembling the courts, calling witnesses to testify, to proclaim the compassion of some and the callousness of others, as we've struggled to cope. The souls taken too soon, whose funerals were lonely, who didn't need to die, who died alone, will tell their stories when you judge our triumphs and our failures in these hours of need. God of healing, put an end to this pandemic and all illness and disease. Bless those who stand in service to humanity. Bless those who grieve. Bless the dead, so that their souls are bound up in the bond of life eternal. And grant those still affected with disease or trauma a completed and lasting healing, one by one, until suffering ceases and we can stop counting the dead in heaven and on earth.
Amen. We turn our prayers of healing to Susan and Louis Bricklin, to Janice Wiesenfeld, Marianne Wiesenfeld's mother, to Sheldon Cohn, who will be having cardiac bypass surgery on Monday, to Phyllis Marshall, to Sandy Samuels, a friend of Pat Finder, to Susan Olar, a friend of Sarah Epstein. To Alice Tettleman, to Renee Sachs's siblings, her sister Debbie Buteau and her brother Sam Sachs, as well as to her father, Jerome Sachs. We offer healing prayers for Louise Avedon, for Nadia Finkelstein, for Emma Stallman's continued recovery, for Joel Seiner, for Helen Savitsky, Andy Andriopoulos, and for Mark Doxer, who continues to recover from knee surgery. Healing prayers for Mark Bosenson, Irina Capkeeper's father, John Saladino, Marianne Saladino, for Rosalind Hoffman, Joel Meeks, Jane Beswick, and Judy Planchin. Continued prayers for Audrey Roth, for Bernice Hutzler-Stein, for Tina Duffy, Molly Solomon, Debbie Gilman, Neil Daniels Midman, and for Abraham Lyons. We offer continued healing prayers for Deb Goldman, for William O'Brien, Dorothy Taylor, Steve Cobble, Ron and Patty Shepard, and for Mary Jane Gendra. We pray for Raja Rajagopal, Krishna's father, for Jennifer Chase, Ellen Lee, for Julia Vance, Judy Donaldson, Isaac Altman Sagan, for Rabbi David Nelson, Harav Ze'ev Yehuda Ben Devorah, for Tom Lemons and for Priscilla Lemons, for Philip Kessler, for Jeff Bray, Arlene Edelson, Susan Lapidus, Louise Ward, Vicki Oman, Gail Tregor, Melissa Martin and her daughter Cassie, for Ken Blumberg, and for Jimmy Krasnow. For Asher Guy, Ben Chava Verhersh Shmuel, for the Medeiros Rockenmacher family, Justin and Jen Alexander, for Peggy Schuker's beloved mother, Gladys Schuker, for Jim Medford and his wife, Carol Medford, for Claude Lieber, Nancy Lazaro Lieber, for Bob Friedman, for Kathy Knapp, and for Mason Lee. And I invite you to say your loved ones that you're praying for, their healing, their names out loud now as we prepare to chant Shebeirach together. Shebeirach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Uyevarech Virapeh et hacholim Elna Refana Elna Refana Shebeirach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah Uyevarech Virapeh et hacholim. Their healing comes soon, speedily, and in our day. We turn our prayers to Oseh Shalom, to the one who makes peace in the heavens. Please help us to find peace here. Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Shalom Bimroma, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru, Amen. One more time, Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru, We pause just for a brief moment now for some announcements before the conclusion of tonight's service. Tonight, directly following services, for the first time, you are all invited to a special Shavuot Oneg. It'll last for about an hour, and you can come for for a half hour. It lasts for about a half hour. Come for as long as you'd like. The link for the Oneg is in yesterday afternoon's update. Tomorrow is another busy day in virtual Shir Tikvah's life. There's Tat Shabbat at 10, online Torah study at 10:30. Yizkor for Shavuot will be at 3 p.m. And our Makom Shalom meditation is at 5. At 7 p.m. will be led in Havdalah by the Brooklyn Small Family. Sunday morning, our annual meeting starts at 10, and you're welcome to start joining in at about 9:45. This is going to be hosted on Microsoft Teams, so check out the email that was sent yesterday with the link and the instructions so that you can log into that important meeting. At 7 p.m. on Sunday night, you can join in for Israeli dance with Ann Schwartz, and also a poetry soiree hosted by Sarah Epstein, also at 7 on Sunday evening. There's a whole lineup from Monday to Friday as well, and please check your updates for all of that information. We do have stories on our website now. We have an audio library that is so fun to listen to. Lori Jaffe has recorded 6 or 7 stories already, and Rabbi Carey has also recorded a story. So we have this amazing audio library for all ages. They are delightful stories and very much worth listening to. If you are a storyteller, just record yourself telling a story, and we will put you in our audio library as well. And we have a photo gallery going, and I know many of you have seen this. They are so fun. And if you are in need of a smile, something to smile about, just check out these photos. They are guaranteed to put a smile on your face. This week's theme for photos is growing. So you have until midnight on Sunday night to get your photo to Michael Glicksman, and it will be in our photo gallery for the week. Finally, let us begin to conclude our service. Hareini mikabelet, I take upon myself, behold, I take upon myself to love my neighbor as myself. This is our setting for Aleinu tonight. Hareini mikabelet, halayet mitzvat haboreh ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, reacha kamocha. Hareini mikabelet, halayet mitzvat haboreh ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, reacha kamocha. Hareini mikabelet, halayet HaKamocha. Return to the words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 44 in your prayer book. Remembering tonight Larry Kramer, the playwright, author, and activist. Remembering tonight George Floyd, killed in Minneapolis on Monday. His death prompted these official words from the Reform movement that I'd like to share with you, that Rabbi Carey and I would like to share with you. Our observance of Shavuot is tempered by the brutal killing of George Floyd and the ongoing racism that destroys and dehumanizes Black and brown lives in the United States. As we stand at Sinai and renew the covenant, we are reminded that Shavuot commemorates the revelation of a moral code that dictates how we live, and that includes anti-racism, liberation, and justice for all. Still, in this time of Shloshim, these 30 days, we remember Martin Wennick, Anthony Newsom, Fred Eny, Norman McFarlane, Elaine Weiner, and Jacqueline Sivak Sanders. This week's yortzites include Gertrude Dean, Harry Greeley. Gertrude Dean is Rabbi Carey's bubby. Also the yortzeit of Harry Greeley, Cat Amsterdam's grandfather, and Samuel Levin, my grandfather. We remember Dagmar Rajagopal, Krishna's beloved mother, Ida Marowitz, Rim's beloved mother, Stanley Wiesenfeld, Marion Wiesenfeld's father, Riva Shapiro's beloved father, Abraham Wexler, and her beloved sister, Belle Rothbard. This is the yortzeit of Lynn Helfand's mother, Ruth Helfand, and Josh Kranzer's grandmother, Ethel Kranzer. We remember Henry Tovey, Robbie Tovey's beloved father, and Maurice Goldstein, Paula Goldstein's father. We remember Selma Warnoff, Deb Schwartz's aunt. And in this time of the year, we remember Jack Vance, Diana Dessy, Billy Mortel, Helen Kranzer, and Alan Finder. Take this moment to remember those who are in your heart tonight, those feeling particularly close to you, as we turn to these words, becoming a community of memory. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Amen. B'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ol almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha Barechu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. So, in honor of this time in our people's history of receiving Torah, of standing at the mountain, of offering our best first fruits, a song by Harry Belafonte that I hope you will join in with. The hand motions are the essential part. and I'm going to be doing them publicly. You get to do that in the privacy of your own home. We are wishing you all a Chag Shavuot Sameach and Shabbat Shalom. All right, here goes. We come from the mountain, we come from the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the fire, we come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, we come from the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the water, go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the sky, we come from the sky, go back to the sky, turn the world around. We come from the sky, go back to the sky, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, we come from the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, go back to the mountain, turn the world around. And let's turn it toward peace and justice for all. Wishing you a sweet Shabbat and Chag Sameach, everybody.